Hamilton's very first test at Fiorano in the SF25 was when something almost invisible, but absolutely decisive, happened. Not on track, but in the feedback loop between car and driver. Hamilton's radio crackled as he asked a simple but stunning question. What have you done with the steering feel? In that instant, the heart of Ferrari's technical dilemma was exposed. This wasn't just a case of adapting to a new car. Hamilton, one of the most adaptable drivers in Formula One history, was immediately uncomfortable, shocked, even by a fundamental aspect of the SF25's design, its power steering calibration. This wasn't about engine power, downforce, or tire degradation. It was about trust, the precise tactile feedback that allows a driver to push a car to its limit and instinctively know when they're about to cross it. That trust simply wasn't there. And that raised the key question. How could a team with Ferrari's history and resources produce a steering feel that neither Hamilton nor Leclerc found intuitive or confidence-inspiring? The answer lies not in 2025, but in decisions made 2 years earlier, when Ferrari tuned its steering philosophy more toward Carlos Sainz's preferences, a setup direction that never fully suited and now completely baffles Hamilton. But this goes beyond hardware. It reveals Ferrari's perennial struggle, a reluctance to build a car around one lead driver's instincts, unlike Red Bull's relentless focus on Verstappen. And as the rule book reset of 2026 looms large, this dilemma is no longer academic. It could decide Ferrari's future. The key to understanding Ferrari's predicament lies deep within the SF25 steering rack, and more specifically, the way it translates hydraulic assistance into feedback at the driver's fingertips. When Carlos Sainz joined Ferrari, his driving style emphasized stability at turn-in, even if that meant sacrificing mid-corner adjustability. To achieve this, Ferrari subtly altered the assist curve and damping characteristics of their power steering system to reduce sensitivity and smooth out feedback at initial steering inputs. This worked for Sainz, who preferred a progressive buildup of resistance. But it never fully suited Leclerc, who thrives on a livelier front end and razor-sharp responses that allow him to rotate the car aggressively. Ferrari's engineering compromise favored Sainz's preferences, and that compromise became institutionalized in the SF23 and then carried over into the SF25. For Hamilton, this was alien territory. His years at Mercedes were spent in machinery that offered a hyperlinear, almost telepathic connection between steering wheel and front axle. His feedback during that first test was immediate and unequivocal. This isn't just different, it's wrong. But here's where the dilemma intensifies. Changing a modern Formula One car's power steering calibration isn't simply a matter of tightening or loosening a few bolts. It involves recalibrating the entire steering rack geometry, hydraulic assist mapping, and electronic damping profiles, all intertwined with the chassis' aerodynamic platform. Ferrari's engineers now face an intricate puzzle. Adjust the system enough to satisfy Hamilton's feel while not disrupting the platform they've spent years adapting to. It's a technical balancing act with no easy solution. And every decision comes with performance trade-offs, particularly when tire management, corner entry precision, and driver confidence are so closely tied to steering feedback. Ferrari's struggle with this seemingly small but critical detail reveals a deeper structural hesitation, a hesitancy to fully commit their machinery to one driver's instincts, even when history shows that's how championships are won. For all of Ferrari's technical sophistication, their true challenge may now lie in the psychological dynamic unfolding between their drivers and inside their garage walls. When Lewis Hamilton first questioned the SF25 steering feel, it wasn't merely a technical critique, it was an assertion of identity. 4-7 world championships, and over a decade of relentless front-running, Hamilton has operated with machinery tailored precisely to his instincts. Ferrari's indecisiveness in steering philosophy immediately put him on the back foot. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc, who had long tolerated a compromised setup shaped by the legacy of Carlos Sainz's preferences, suddenly found himself in a strange position. No longer the sole reference point for Ferrari's engineers, but now having to share development direction with one of the most decorated drivers in history. The emotional complexity here is enormous. For Hamilton, adjusting to a steering system that feels numb and unpredictable compromises not only lap time, but also confidence. And confidence is everything in Formula One. For Leclerc, there's the subtle pressure of protecting what familiarity he has with this imperfect system, knowing that if Ferrari tilt the car's development toward Hamilton's preferences, his own comfort could be sacrificed. Team principal Fred Vasseur finds himself at the center of this human drama. His challenge isn't just managing technical updates, but navigating two strong-willed competitors whose careers and reputations depend on marginal gains and instinctive trust in their machinery. Every pit wall conversation, every engineering debrief carries undertones of this tension. And as the championship fight intensifies, this interpersonal dynamic could define Ferrari's future just as much as any aerodynamic